Hey everybody, it's Alisha Rayne here at the workshop, and we have a great bunch of comedians for you tonight. We're making love connections all the way around. So basically how the workshop works is everybody gets a topic ahead of time, and they do about 3 to 4 minutes on the subject, and then everybody gives feedback, and then we give another round of our own material, and everybody gives feedback on that. I want to make sure my comments are up. So we do take comments from the audience if anybody wants to add onto it. We got a Facebook user already noticing what's going on. 2 Ryan S's. Yep, it's going to be fantastic.
Unprecedented.
Fantastic. All right, well, we are going to go ahead and get started. So we've got some great comedians here tonight. Chase, you're going to go first. Your subject is going to be awkward conversations.
All right.
Okay, and then Jackie, you're going to go next. She's got forbidden fruit. And then Ryan Schneider, he's the washed out Ryan S., the shirtless Ryan S. He's got cough syrup, and then the be-shirted Ryan S. He's got archery. So we got a lot of fun topics. We got a lot of fun comedians, and so we're going to have a good time. Chase Bonin, you are going to be the first comedian taking it away with awkward conversations. Let's hear it.
All right. So I'm very familiar with this subject, and I make a lot of bad decisions. Like talking isn't my strong point, and I decided to become a comedian, so that wasn't good. Like if you watch movies or like TV shows where there's like an evil person, a killer, or something like that, like they always have this nice, elegant speech, like right before they kill somebody or do something evil. You know, it's always like, "Oh, how did you get in here?" And he's like, "Well, I was watching you through the window the whole time. I saw a crack, pushed it open, and here I am. And now you die." If that were me, it would be more like, "Oh no, how did you get in here?" I'd be like, "Well, I was watching you through your the eye house, the house eyes, or either way, I came in through your window, and now I'm gonna kill you. If that's okay with you, like I just don't want you to not like me, you know." Like after you're dead, like I just want to be able to tell people, like, "Hey, Chris really liked me," you know. So that's how I am with people. But speaking of awkward conversations, like I never had the sex talk with my parents, and I think that fucked me up more than if I would have had that talk with them. But well, except for this one time when I was about 7, my dad and I were watching The Terminator, and there's a sex scene in it. And he just looked at me and went, "Hooters." So that may have been my sex talk. But like I said, that kind of fucked me up because when I was like 13 or 14, I remember telling someone that I wasn't a virgin just because I was breastfed. Like that was, yeah. And like how embarrassing is that, you know? And I tried to make it cool. It's like, "Nah, dude, totally not a virgin. Like, of course I've had sex. I used to suck on titties all the time as a baby." And they're just like, "Well, that's not how sex works, and you're gross." So where else are we? Hang on. Oh, and all right, so I have kids, right? And I don't really know what my style is, but I know by looking at me, you probably can't tell that my favorite band is called Cattle Decapitation. So, and I do listen to like a lot of death metal and stuff like that, and that makes weird conversations when I'm hanging out with like my kids' friends' parents, you know, because they'll be sitting around just like, "Oh, this new Taylor Swift song is really good. Her lyrics are really deep," and I'm like, "Well, Napalm Death just put out a killer record, and Cattle Decap's last album was released in December of 2019, and it's about a plague that starts killing off weak humans." That's weird, huh? I don't really like to get into conspiracy theories, but and then when they start looking at me weird, I just got to be like, "Let's not take this out on the kids. Can they please still be friends?" That was all I had. So.
All right, very good. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's some good stuff. All right, up top, Luke Logan is coming in hot with the comments. Is that a shirtless ginger? He's blinding me.
Guilty.
Is this your best friend? Luke Logan, I never thought I was ever a virgin because I was breastfed. There we go, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's usually.
Luke Logan coming in hot again. I came out of the womb sucking on titties. Thank you, Luke Logan, for some deep stuff. Some good material over there. Thanks. Yeah, so I think you had some good stuff there. Yep, I think you can have some other work out some other, like, I was as a baby I was this, or
Yeah.
something. You can add on to that for sure. There's some stuff going on. I would say for the friends, kids, you could make it like an even more awkward situation, like at a PTA meeting or at like a teacher conference. Bring in that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Talking to the teacher. I think there'd be some good awkward stuff there, some funny stuff. So. Yeah, Jackie, do you have any response?
Okay, so I don't know like how clean you are. Oh shoot, where'd my little notepad go? I don't know how clean you are, but when you're talking about like the conversation that you're having with people where you're like telling them you're not a virgin, and then like at the end they're like, wait, did you fuck your mom? I don't know. Kind of like seemed like it was leading there. And then like you're trying to say like you're really cool because you like, breastfed or whatever, but then it's like sounding like you fucked your mom. And if you're talking about like your death metal at like a kid's party or PTA, it'd be funny if like you started a mosh pit with the kids.
Yeah. All right.
That's what I had. It was good. Good ideas.
Thank you.
With people.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Ryan Schneider, the German himself. You got any response?
You could get really specific into which base the sucking on the titties is.
Okay. Yeah.
And I always like the idea of virginity loopholes, though. Like, yeah, technically I lost it.
Yeah.
It's gone. I mean, I still have it, but it's like it went through the wash, so.
All right, very cool. Luke Logan coming in hot. Let's see, just a shorter version of the joke, so just tighten it up. From Hamilton. There you go. And then we got another Facebook user. I've never been so disgusted and turned on. We're gonna kind of cyclical there. All right, Ryan S. with a shirt on. You got any response?
Awkward conversations. They usually start with, "Yes, my last name is Bonin."
Yeah, it's actually pronounced Bonin though. So.
And then you're like, serial killers always have such a nice, elegant speech when they kill. And then you said, I never have the sex talk with my parents. And I thought maybe you're like, because I'm terrible at speeches before murders.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you said, I used to suck on tits all the time, which is awkward if they know that I'm adopted and was which is awkward if they know that I was adopted from the orphanage at 4. And I'm like, yeah, those priests were freaks.
I like it. Yeah.
I mean, and you can go with the name again. My last name's pronounced Bonin, but I'm Bonin.
Ah. Okay.
Whenever it's on the menu.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I think there's a lot of good notes and a lot of good stuff. Facebook users coming in hot, so I like it. All right, so we said Jackie was next.
Uh-oh.
Jackie in the hot
Yes.
seat here.
Hold on. I like somehow. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I somehow. How do I get out of this? I somehow opened my.
We can hear and see you, so it's all good.
I'm so. You can see me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah. And now we have two people with their shirts off. So.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So my topic was forbidden fruit, and so I kind of like figured out, it's not exactly on that realm, but it's like reminded me of my kids doing things that they shouldn't. And so I wanted to talk about the time that I spanked my kid. So I spanked my son for the first time today. It's a big deal to me. Some of you, it's not a big deal, but I want to have a relationship with my kids in the future. This is what happened. He started running from me, and instinctively I reached out and I spanked him. And I felt bad. I spanked him, though, because I want him to know that he can't run away from me, which is the same reason I spanked my husband. Right after I spanked him, this is a true story, a homeless man literally came out of nowhere and shouted, "I want you to know I love that you just spanked him." And I was like, "Are you hitting on me?" And we went out, but it was very short-lived. Anyway, I was like, glad that I have your approval, man in the bushes. But I like discipline. I think discipline's great. Obviously, it's changed a lot. Remember when discipline used to be like writing on boards if you did something bad? Like, I will not shove Kathy. I will not shove Kathy. That stuff doesn't work. First of all, you're going to have very high rates of carpal tunnel in little children. And if none of those kids can use their wrists, we won't have any tennis stars in like a generation to come, which is probably the worst thing that can happen. Secondly, writing, I will not shove Kathy 1,000 times. I'm definitely going to start shortening that, right? Just to save some time and my wrists. And it's slowly going to drop the I will not shove Kathy to like, I will not shove Kathy. After a while, it's just going to be like shoving Kathy. And that's going to start like really rewiring my brain, like shove Kathy, shove Kathy. After like 500 times of that, I'm going to be like reprogrammed into the shoving machine. All right. A robot of shovery, if you will. And the next day I go to school, everyone's going to be like, hey, good morning. But I'm not going to hear that, right? Because all I'm going to hear is my mantra, just like pounding through my head with every beat of my heart. Shove Kathy, shove Kathy. I'm going to see her, right? And she comes up to me and I'm ready. She's ready to make amends. And like a warmth, like returns to my heart for just like a second, you know, and we like make eye contact. And then I just like shove the fuck out of her. Anyway, that's what I have.
All right. Woo, thank you.
No strong punchlines, but you know, I was hoping you guys would write my jokes for me. I'm kidding.
All right, we got some good bones there, so we'll go ahead and get some feedback. I like the homeless guy coming out of nowhere. You know, yeah, we did go out. It was a soup kitchen. You know, kind of thing. The husband thing, that's what I do to my husband or whatever. That was really good. That was pretty funny.
Thanks.
The writing on the board, I feel like that could be changed to texting instead of writing. You're texting 100 lines.
That's good.
And then you can you know, do that shortened, like you can do like the number 4 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, just some stuff there. Just want to come in hot again with the comments. Luke Logan, does anyone else get a boost when homeless people hit on them? It still feels good. All right. You know, and if you are going to shove somebody, shove the fuck out of a Kathy. Slogan, feminine hat. All right. So, Chase, you got any response?
Well, first off, I do feel like if I meet a Kathy, I'm just going to have to shove her. I think you really made your point there. But no, so you said the homeless guy saw you spank your kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking for him to say, "Hey, I like that you spanked him." He's like, "I was spanked too, and look how I turned out." And he's fucking homeless, you know. So it made you maybe second think it. Yeah. That was the only thing I had.
That's good.
All right. That's good. Cool. Ryan Schneider.
I like the idea of a stranger telling you that it's good to hit your kids, and then you could ask them, "Well, do you have kids?" Oh, fuck no, I've never had kids. I'm terrified of kids. What if they hit me?
They hit back. Yeah. All right. That's it. All right. Ryan with the shirt. What do you got?
The best part of dating a homeless man is he literally doesn't have a bedtime. The worst part of dating a homeless man is asking him if he wants a ride bridge afterwards. I've never actually dated a homeless man, but I'm getting a divorce, so technically I married one. You know, because you got the house.
Right. That's funny.
Deep down, didn't we all get the house?
Yeah, and then about building on what Ryan Schneider said is, you know, you're getting advice from a homeless guy on hitting your kids, and you're like, I don't know if this is good advice, and maybe he's like, it worked for me, you know. So
Yeah, I said that.
I think you could also go back to like the husband's, like, you know, I married one, or technically he's a couch surfer now, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we got one more from Luke Logan. Nobody feels sorry for a Kathy ever. So.
No one what?
Nobody feels sorry for a Kathy ever. So I feel like something may have happened to Luke. Or somebody named Kathy. All right, but good stuff. Very good. Okay, so I said Ryan Schneider. He was going to be next. Cough syrup.
Actually,
cough syrup action for us.
Actually, my topic was also forbidden fruit, cough syrup. There's so many.
What was the topic? Just let me just be
cough
clear.
syrup. That was my first joke about cough syrup.
Okay, good.
Can I go now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, everybody. I can tell that cough syrup is getting stronger these days because I've watched a cartoon made in the last 10 years. Supernatural is about two monster hunters who ruin demons' credit scores and get them kicked out of their parents' house by introducing them to cough syrup. You know, Drex, The Rup, Orange Crush, Robo-dosing, Red Devils, the poor man's PCP. Why does cough syrup get all the best nicknames? People call me Butters. Buckley's took the brutal and honest route of making their slogan, "It tastes awful, but it works." And maybe we all should adopt that kind of policy. Like, you need to borrow my pen? Well, it's red ink, but it works. My foreign policy is highly interventionalist, but it works. Because we have the bombs. And obviously my junk is thoroughly average, but it works. During COVID, I don't even think it would be legal to disguise your coughing symptoms, would it? Like, I like how all like entire Walmarts can come together and glare down a person who has the gall to cough in public. I think that's the closest thing to political unity we'll see ever again. And I was gonna write more, and then I choked.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Ryan Schneider. Sorry I messed up your first joke. All right. I like they just call me Butters. I
story.
feel like that's me. South Park reference could be in there. Maybe that's, I don't know, too old. I don't know. And then honest, like your honesty, like it, it's crappy, but it works. I feel like you could also go in the direction of like doing other advertisements, like this ice cream sucks, but it's ice cream, or something like that, like as a logo for another ad. So. Yeah, Chase, do you have any thoughts?
Just to kind of play on what you were saying, I think it would be better to do like more food stuff. Like you're saying that was a brand of cough syrup. It says, hey, it tastes like shit, but it works or whatever. Yeah, like the ice cream thing's funny, or just, like regular bread, like, hey, it's bread, but it makes a fucking sandwich or whatever. Or your like your junk one, like hey, my junk's average, but it works on Viagra. So I don't know. That was really the only thing that I had.
It works with a little coaxing.
Yes.
All right. Luke, Logan, I was going to write more, but I choked. There you go. Jackie, do you have any response?
I liked it. I liked the political joke you put in there. That was funny. And I thought, like, my junk, whatever you said, it works, and you will get addicted to it. I don't know. That's kind of funny. Some like additional way to tie it into cough syrup,
Okay.
Like dick tripping or like robo tripping or something.
Yeah,
that.
like another analogy.
Yeah. All right, Ryan with the shirt. Got any response?
I wrote my topic was cough syrup, or as my mom calls it, a panty remover. And also you said something about Buckley's. You said it tastes like shit, but it works. I was like, they actually stole that slogan from the American Ass Eating Association. Yeah. And maybe you could call it Butley's. I don't know. But that's it.
That's funny.
I love the advertising agency that puts it tastes like shit on the air. 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. only.
Yeah. But it tastes like shit, but it jerks. I don't know.
Well, Luke Logan, there's an entire segment of hip hop influenced by drinking cough syrup.
Lean.
I want the cough syrup Migos uses. So that's good.
Those little hi-hat triplet drips.
Yep. That one song, like keeping bottles on the ice, like a blizzard, whatever. That's a good song. Anyway.
Let's not get it too hot in here. I have nothing left to take off.
All right. Okay, Ryan S. Ryan with the shirt. You had archery, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Freezing.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. I don't really play many sports, and apparently archery is a sport. But I think COVID has ruined sports for many people. I haven't even been in the gym in a year due to COVID-19. And I hadn't been 3 years before that because of pandemic preparation. But now that we're in lockdown, I want to play hockey. I want to play baseball. not to exercise, but because I work at home with my girlfriend and my new baby, and I just want to get out and fucking drink, you know? Sports is the best cover. You could tell a loved one you're going to play a game and just drink. Like she thought I was on a baseball team called the Brew Jays for like 2 years, and I was just going to a bar twice a week drinking. And I still came home sweaty, but that's because I would eat suicide chicken wings and I have IBS. That's a real sport. That's a real sport. Being addicted to hot sauce with IBS, that's like playing Russian roulette with your colon. Every time you pull the trigger, you could pop one. Anyways, enough about eating ass. I drank a lot of cough syrup before this. I actually Googled what sports were approved for social distancing, and I got tennis, chess, and archery. I can't play tennis. I don't look that good in shorts. I tried chess, but I watched that Queen's Gambit, and I took some LSD, and all I saw on my roof was dead people. So I couldn't visualize it. So I settled for archery. It's the only sport that discourages drinking. And I don't know if you know, it's the oldest sport known to man aside from clubbing your wife in a cave. So, which is ironic because archery was the first Olympic sport that women were allowed to compete in when they were allowed in 1904. I looked it up. That year, Matilda Howell, this is true, beat Emma Cook for the gold medal. And when she was interviewed, she said, if I wanted to cook, I would have stayed in the kitchen. I'm just joking. They weren't allowed to be interviewed till the 1954 Olympics. It's hard, though. Each time you get 3 tries to hit that little bullseye in the middle, And after about 10 tries, I was like, it's impossible. And my girlfriend's like, no, it's not. But no, I'm doing it for the sport, but archery has been used in history as warfare since like recorded time. I looked it up. Apparently, arrows have caused the second most deaths in the world. The first is obviously commitment. Yeah, I mentioned I have a girlfriend and a baby. I'm not married. When I actually was going to have a baby, most people are like, when are you going to get married? And I was like, what are you, her? I was single. I was single forever. And my mom was like, yeah, if you got to meet someone, you got to see a doctor. So I started dating a doctor. I don't know. Have you guys dated a doctor? It's got tons of perks. And oxys and morphine, whatever you can grab when she goes to bed, right? I actually met her on Tinder and found out she was a doctor and stopped pulling out immediately because that shit's an investment. And she did get pregnant, so I did hit my bullseye. That's my set. Thanks a lot.
Woo! Great set.
All right, very good. Yeah, good stuff. Let's get this going here. So Luke Logan, nice pace in the comments. I agree. Good pace. Yeah.
Probably about commitment.
All right. Chase, do you have any response?
The only thing I wrote down was archery is good for social distance murdering. It's the only thing I came up with. I don't know what it is about killing people with me, but
yeah, Chase. And you're too far away. You don't have to say anything. It's perfect for you.
yes.
There you go. All right, very good. Jackie, do you have any response?
Oh God, I was so busy listening because I really enjoyed your set, but I really liked the clubbing joke, and you had already said that archery is not a good sport to drink with, so you could tie that in with just like clubbing your wife to death, which actually is a great sport to drink with. And I really liked the bit about the women not being allowed to be interviewed. Had no addition there, just liked it. So good set.
A simpler time.
A simpler time. Sorry, should I not talk? It's inappropriate for you to be talking about this. I'm kidding.
Right. Ryan, no shirt. What's up? You have any response?
I have a tag for you, Mr. Sim. When you say it's the second leading cause of death behind commitment, you could make it a little more factually accurate by saying a commitment to the new disease that a mosquito spread to you. Because that's the #1 killer of humans.
Oh, is it malaria?
Well, I think to make it the #1, you have to bundle in all the different ways mosquitoes kill you. Mosquito bite would be the #1 killer.
I'll make a note of that and think
Yeah.
of a mosquito joke.
Perfect. There you
But
go.
like marriage, they both sort of kill you slowly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very like subtle kind of Cupid reference. I feel like you could bring that in a little bit more.
Also, the horseback archer was the strongest military unit for like 1,000 years. They had to invent castles to stop them from just taking over Europe. Isn't that pretty cool? Just thought you should know.
I'm just gonna. That's my new tag.
That's cool, right?
Isn't that cool?
And then I just go, good night. Take off my shirt.
No, we all know Ryan's talented and charming.
What is it? The mounted archers. That's what I'll call it. Mounted archers. I'll think of something on that.
There you go. The Mongolians did it. The Dothraki.
Okay, thanks, buddy.
All right, so I did want to say I really did like the "What are you, her?" joke.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
It was really good. So, all right, and then from the interwebs, Luke Logan, being married is like having the one mosquito in your room when you're trying to sleep. I like it. Just that in your ear.
Okay, so I could do mosquito and marriage. There we go.
That's your
Mosquitoes at least
topic,
share the
like,
blankets.
All right, very good. Anything else? Non-mosquito archery wise?
My job's done. I've thrown us off topic.
All right, very cool, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get to going here. My topic was boys, which I feel like I don't know. Yeah, I for some reason Burning Man came into my mind, and there's like a kind of a big group of people who are all like, this one time at Burning Man, like they like to pretend that they're real hippies and like, ooh, and I'm like, dude, you're not a real hippie. You're like a total poser. Like my friend, his nickname given to him by other people is Hippie Steve. Okay, and what he did was he took mushrooms during the winter and then trekked around the woods without shoes on, and then finally they found him, and he lost 3 toes because of it. That's a real hippie right there. Okay, you guys are just posers. Yeah, there's a phrase called hate the game, not the player. Hate the player, not the game. You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. I can hate the player. Right? Okay. Michael Vick, I hate that guy. Okay. I love dogs, so I hate Michael Vick. All of those players who are like, yeah, wife beaters, and they kind of like get away with it. I can hate those guys. Tom Brady. Enough said, right? Yep. There's a fun term out there called chuckle fuckers, which are groupies for comedians. And it's just like, come on, guys, we are better than that. We're comedians. We can come up with better names. One of them I had was Ha Ha Harlots. I think that's a good one. Or Silly Sluts. That's kind of a fun one. Laugh Lickers.
Ooh.
something like that. My favorite is Ha Ha Harlots, but there's that commercial, it's like a PSA, like a long time ago. It was like, nobody wants to be a druggie when they grow up. It's true. Nobody wants to work at the sewage plant when they grow up either. So it's kind of like a toss up. There's a network called WGN, and basically it just plays reruns of Blue Bloods, that cop show about a cop family, and then after that it just plays reruns of Last Man Standing, that Tim Allen show. So to me, does WGN just stand for White Guy Network? I don't know. Yeah, so like there's a lot of guys who like they're like, oh, the millennials, they just have participation trophies. And I'm like, is that really a thing? Like I feel like one dad, once was like, we should have participation trophies. And that guy, that one dad had a beard, and that beard had a mustache. Like that, that's the one dad that did that. And then another dad who obviously was a bully in high school didn't like that, and so turned it into a thing. That's very rough. I'm sorry. So they have something called, like, everyone freaks out about online bullying. They're like, I don't want my kids to be bullied online. And I'm like, I don't want my kids to be bullied in real life either. That physically hurts. Like, I feel like once people started talking about bullying online, they just completely forgot about what a wedgie was. I think they still exist. A lot of people say that school shooters are, now that school's closed, there's no more school shooters. And I'm like, not because school closed, it's because they finally are on vacation. It's pretty rough. Yeah, so there's like Boy Scouts, and there's always kind of this rumors around Boy Scouts. And I feel like their first badge that a Boy Scout receives is how to keep a secret. And then their second badge is shame. Yeah, I feel like the Catholic Church is kind of like McDonald's, where they serve billions. There's locations all over the world. The only difference is that the manager of McDonald's doesn't diddle its customers. So, and I know some of you are like, oh, that kind of makes me feel uncomfortable. And I'm like, that's so funny, because a lot of children said that to their Catholic priest. So went a little dark there. That's okay. That's my set. I just feel like, thank you. I feel like the first thing I got was like, I don't know why my mind went in the direction it went. Anyway, if there's any response, great.
Yeah. So you're saying, talking like the poser hippies? I think there's like a name you can come up with that. I wrote down trust fund hippies, but I'm not sure if that's something already there. But also wrote down the don't hate the player, hate the game is always said by someone that you hate. So, and then let's see, what does this say? Oh, yeah, like I don't want to be a drug addict when I grow up. I do want to be a drug dealer because I'm into making money. So, I wrote that, and then I wrote, oh, you were doing the like the internet bullying thing is supposed to be worse than regular bullying, but whatever happened to the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? So, that was all I had.
All right. I like the trust fund hippies.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right. Jackie, do you have any response?
I liked your white guy network. I thought you could add like most of the commercials are just for New Balance sneakers and Dave Matthews concerts. Like that. Or I don't know, maybe something that's white guyish that might be a little less hacky that I don't know, you know what
Body spray.
I mean?
Yeah.
And vacation for school shooters, they're all on vacation. So it'd be kind of funny to talk about like what vacation for school shooters is like, and even like tie that in. You were talking about online bullying. So you could like have a callback to that. You know, vacation for school shooters is just like, you know, I don't know, they get their shots off online or whatever. I mean, you know, something funnier than that, but
Yeah. Great. So, just coming in with Luke Logan, the Catholic Church is like McDonald's, except only priests are happy about the meals. And then being a drug dealer will cross your mind every once in a while. All right. Ryan with a shirt. Do you have any response? Ryan.
Oh, with a shirt. Sorry.
Oh, she got you.
Chuckle fuckers will suck dick for free Coke. What are chuckle fucker pickup lines anyways? Can I catch a ride and a handy? Or don't worry, she's with me. And then he whispers, I just saved you a canned food donation.
That's a perk.
Or I really like you. That's why I want to share my complimentary nachos. But those terms are misleading. If open micers want to get laid, they better hope there's a new trend for bombshell bomb hunters. So that's all I had. And I meant Coca-Cola, not cocaine.
This is a PG-13
Is
workshop.
it?
Okay.
You have no shirt on.
I'm over 18.
Yeah, but those man boobies are at least PG-13. Don't worry, I got 18 A's. Don't worry.
It's just too. I can't even see. It's just you're blinding me a little bit.
Yeah.
You're so white, it looks like you eat chalk in your basement, bro.
Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure we've been doing a mic with a ghost the whole time.
I just watched the movie Ghost, and you're more white than the end scene with Patrick Swayze.
Yeah. No.
Sorry. Go back to your comments.
All right, Ryan Schneider, what's up?
I have white balanced cameras. Your WGN, your white guy network, you could say, I just don't see the need for it. We already have a white guy network. It's called the planet Earth.
Yeah.
And then you had like cyberbullying. It's like shouldn't have that, or regular bullying. And then you could say bullying should be done at home, where you can make sure that it's properly traumatic. And that's all I have. Then I started thinking about my childhood. When I was still alive. Before that tragic sliding accident.
All right. All right. Well, very cool, guys. That was our first round. I think we did a good job. Had some good stuff. So we'll go ahead and move on to the second round. And Chase, you were first.
All right.
Let's hear some good stuff.
We'll see. I wrote most of this today, so so I was having some stomach problems. I needed to go to the doctor, and I quit drinking before I went because I used to have like a case of beer every night, but since I quit drinking, now I have a case of anxiety every night. And I went to the doctor to talk to him about what was going on, and I feel like I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or if it's just like my doctor was kind of younger, but he was a little bit too casual. Because when I told him that I quit drinking, he didn't really like encourage the health improvement. You know, he wasn't like, well, that's good. You know, it's good that you quit drinking. He just kept saying stuff like, no, man, like you can have a beer every once in a while. And I was like, no, I quit completely. And he's like, no, you can, it's all right to have a beer every once in a while. I was like, dude, do you need like a drinking buddy or something? Do you need a friend, you know? Like, I think I'm the doctor for you now, man. But and then when I was telling him what my symptoms were, like what was going on, I noticed like he had his little laptop and he was kind of just like plugging away at it. So I figured he was inputting my symptoms to see what was going on. And I just looked over and it turns out he was actually Googling my symptoms. I was like, dude, what the hell are you doing? He was like, oh, I'm just punching it into Google, see what comes up. I was like, yeah, I did that. It said cancer. That's why I'm here. And I was like, you went to school for this. Like, your brain is Google, right? So, and I am getting older. Like, I'm going to turn 38 this year, which isn't that old, but I feel like I had my first old person moment the other day when I was scrolling through Facebook and I liked an ad for Pepto-Bismol. Yeah. And it wasn't even that cool of an ad. It just said Pepto and it said relief. And I was like, fuck yes. But yeah, but getting older does make me think of dying and stuff like that. And I can't die. Like, I don't want to die. I can't because I have a whole family of people that rely on me for my Netflix password. So I can't die. Oh, here we go. I'm like, but I want to be remembered if I do die. And I want my kids to remember me. But I'm running out of like profound shit to say to my kids when I put them to bed, you know? Like, it used to be like famous quotes or poems like, all right, good night, my loves. But just remember, you must be the change that you wish to see in the world. Have a good night. And then now I'm currently on just like 90s lyrics. So good night, kids. And remember, don't go chasing waterfalls. So, and then I don't know what I'm going to go on to next once I'm out of these 90s lyrics. The only thing I can think of is like shitty American presidential quotes. Like, good night, kids. And read my lips. No new taxes. Or good night, kids. And I did not have sexual relations with that woman. They're just like, what are you talking about, Dad? And I'm just like, grab him by the pussy. Good night. All right. That's all I came up with.
All right. Very good. Thank you.
Yay.
All right. Well, yeah, like the case of anxiety. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like you could also do like a 6-pack of antidepressants or another beer related kind of thing. Like the doctor needing a drinking buddy. I think is good. You can expand on that a little bit. Yeah, I think that's some good stuff. Jackie, do you have any response?
When you're talking about the doctor, Googling, you like, isn't your brain supposed, like, aren't you supposed to be Google? I mean, like, actually, I'm Dr. Yahoo. I don't know. Some search engine that, whatever.
Yeah. Jeeves.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Jeeves. Like, if that was really his name. And then shoot. The 90s lyrics. I think it would be funny if you added more. If you were like, good night, kids, and don't forget, shoop, shoop, a doop. Just like really, like, I mean, things we would know, but just like,
I'm too sexy for my shirt.
You could really have fun with that. Yeah,
you could also go back to your own roots and say some like metal lyrics to them as well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know any metal lyrics, but
Just some growling.
Yeah.
Just growl at them.
Don't let the bed bugs bite. Actually, yeah, just all of Enter Sandman, really. I had good night, kids. Mission accomplished. I just have to go wash some Super Bradley. I'll be back.
Just bring the phone with you. Oh, what a put.
All right, Ryan S. with his shirt. Go ahead and continue on.
I just at the end, you're like, you were talking to your kids, and you're like, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, right? That was your closer.
That or grab him by the pussy, but yeah.
Yeah. Instead of that, maybe I was thinking like, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, and your kids are like, Dad, we just asked how Grandma was.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah.
I wish I had more than that.
That's fun.
But you know what we can do is we can play a trick on Ryan, so when he comes back, he'll have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, we could do that by starting the next person.
Yeah.
And he will have no idea what's going on.
Who is the next person? Ryan?
It's Jackie.
Oh, is that my cue? Should I just start crying? And then when Ryan comes back, he's like, what?
You know what you did?
I'll be like, I can't believe you missed my set.
We're just clapping.
That'd be funny.
Okay, do you want me to go?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Took too long there, Ryan. He'll be all right. All right, Jackie, let's hear it.
All right, so I just stopped breastfeeding my last child, and my boobs look like a beach ball in September because like it's all flat with no hope of ever holding any shape, and everyone's done playing with them. Just sad. Here's some quarantine jokes. Everyone's like at the beginning of the pandemic, everyone was really like hyped up on Shakespeare, and they're like, Shakespeare wrote King Lear during the Spanish flu pandemic. It's like, we get it. He didn't have any kids, you know? It's like if there were an award for the person who wiped the most butts and answered the most questions about why turtles don't have teeth, like I'm your girl, you know what I mean? And I wrote all of these jokes while quarantined with 3 kids under 5. So who's the real literary genius? Also, why are we applauding that? He wrote a book in isolation. That is literally how books are written. I'd be more impressed if you were like, hey, Shakespeare wrote Macbeth at a kegger. Hear me, bitch. I'm totally going to make this crazy bitch go crazy. Okay, totally mess it up. Anyway, if I could go back in time and before, like, prepare myself for the pandemic, I would just be like, hey, you're going to want to hold on to those juicy sweatpants. I was so careful during quarantine, and then Christmas came around, and our neighbors brought like handmade cookies, and I ate them without like ever thinking about COVID. So what I'm saying is like, social needs be damned. I will die for a fucking snickerdoodle. My buddy, I was recently talking to my buddy the other day, and he said that while in quarantine, he went on an isolation retreat. And I was like, aren't we all already on an isolation retreat? And he was like, no. This is different. It was a silent retreat. So I told my family we were also on a silent retreat, so everybody would shut the hell up. And it didn't work. And that's what I got.
All right. Very good. All right. Just real quick, Curtis Russell from the comments is like, when Ryan comes back, just say, okay, so we're gonna go live now.
All right. 3, 2.
All right. Yeah, Jackie, there's some good stuff. I like the beach ball in September. Nobody wants to play with them now. So good. It's funny. I think there's some other stuff you could have done. Like if I would have known to prepare for COVID, I would have, stocked up on toilet paper or, maybe something about homeschooling. Sounds like you have kids. Like, I don't know. There's a couple other things you could do, like expand on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Chase, you have any response?
Yeah, so like the deflated boobies,
Mm-hmm.
like she was saying, you could say, they're deflated. Nobody wants to play them anymore, but I do plan on getting them reinflated later, something like that, by next summer for my summer body or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, that was all it came. I'm very bad at this tonight, so I do apologize.
Great. You're doing great.
Thank you.
All right, Ryan with the shirt on.
My boobs look more deflated than the Republican Party or Trump's ego. I live at home with 3 children under 5. I didn't even know about COVID-19 until Christmas. I'm just joking. I heard about it 2 weeks after we visited my grandmother at her funeral. Because he killed her. That was it.
All right.
I don't know.
You came in at the end, Ryan Schneider. You got any response?
I think there's a lot you could do with. He went to the. What's so funny, Mr. Ryan S?
Just your assessment of the last 3 seconds of her set.
I heard about the silent retreat, and I think you could do something like he went there and had time to think and reflect, and now he came back and he won't shut up about conspiracy theories.
That's funny.
All right.
That's all.
Very good.
Nice.
All right, Ryan Schneider, now that you're back from the bathroom, what do you got?
My favorite Pokemon card. I use that as a bookmark. Okay, last summer at work, when I was being essential and whatnot, something bad happened at work. I broke my foot in 3 places, 3 of the metatarsal bones. But you should see the other guy. He's a 400-pound retaining wall stone, and he actually was perfectly fine after. I guess my steel-toed boots protected nothing more than what the name promises, because my toes were fine. So I had a couple extra months off, which was nice, and obviously it happened at work, so we have great insurance here called workers' compensation. So I got paid to sit at home for a bit, just like the rest of the society at the time. Only I had to turn my lights on and off with my crutch from across the room, which was pretty cool. A couple months after, though, like I had already been back to work, the workers' comp called me and they wanted to do like a satisfaction survey, and I was like, okay, well, I have time for this. I love talking to people on the phone, especially when they're not the student loan people. And they asked me, like, from 1 to 10, how likely would you be to recommend workers' comp to a friend or family member? And I was like, are you asking me if I would recommend an injury to somebody I care about? Like, no, don't get injured. But if you have to do it, at work is a pretty good place too, because then it gets all paid for. I got to keep the walking cast. Believe it or not, a boot that was wrapped around my foot for 2 months, they don't want back. So that was pretty cool. That's in my post-apocalypse survival kit now. It's what's the ambidextrous for feet? Ambipedatious, I guess. We're not gonna try to make that word a word. That's really all I got for tonight. That's my new stuff.
All right. Thank you. Right. Good stuff. I feel like the walking cast, like you could pull a prank on somebody, like we were going to pull on you. When you came but yeah, I feel like you could use the cast for something, or that it it had a bunch of stuff written on it. And so now I just have this fake foot that says fucker on it in my room or something like that.
It's one of those nice ones that's like it looks like a snowboarding or skiing boot, and you pump it up and it inflates nice and tight to your thing. It's actually about the coolest piece of technology I own. And I'm a gamer.
All right, that's a great tag.
You just tagged your own joke.
Oops.
Oops.
All right, Chase, you got any response?
When you were saying that, like you had to you were using your crutch to turn your light on and off or whatever. You could say so. You can set it up like sitting in your room, and my crutches actually became more of a crutch because now I don't want to get up anymore to turn my light on or off. That was all I had.
All right, very good. Jackie, do you have any response?
I like the part about how you're talking about, like, when they said, would you recommend workers' comp? That's a really funny premise. It'd be kind of, one angle you could go with that is, like, act like you're dissatisfied and they give you, like a 7-day free trial or something. And this is kind of stupid, but when and I don't know, like, your voice at all, your comedy voice, but you talked about, like, my toes were totally fine, toes, the fingers of the feet. I don't know. That's funny to me, but
I can see me saying that.
That's fine.
Well,
I've been called aloof and childish. Or childlike. Thank you.
I thought it was you like child. It was a. Am I next?
Yeah.
Ryan, have you considered when you start, you're like, my name is Ryan Schneider, and then 4.5 minutes of silence, and you're like, good night. Maybe you could also say, don't you hate shirts? Because then you get the audience, right? And then when you were talking about a post-apocalyptic survival guide, maybe you could make a joke about that. So it's like, no shirt, no shoes, no COVID. How to use workman's comp to survive the real pandemic. Living in your mom's basement.
It's my dad's basement now.
Living in your dad's basement. I know, Ryan. So I actually think he could make some jokes like that. But I like your new shit.
What to do when there's no more electricity for your PlayStation?
Yeah, but the workman's comp stuff, I don't have any tags, but there's a lot of people on,
Yeah, there's a lot of people in Hamilton I could ask.
No, but not just Hamilton, but there's a lot of people on sort of leave due to not just injury, but due to COVID. So there's a endless possibility of relatability with that style of topic. So I don't really have any tags, but really focus. You could get a couple minutes on that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
And then end with "Don't you hate shirts?" Definitely put that in. Why don't you have a shirt on? Can I just ask?
You guys caught me watching the hockey game, and
So, is there any jokes about that? Like, how many people do you paint your chest and watch the hockey with no shirt on?
No, I put my pajama pants on, and then it didn't feel right to still have a shirt on.
All right, we are definitely going into some new territory here, but Ryan asked, with a shirt on, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ryan Schneider. Now on to Ryan S.
All right. Don't you love shirts? I've been reading a lot about vaccines because, we either got to get them or figure it out. And most people are focusing on the side effects, but I looked them up. They're not that bad. The most common side effect is a sore arm, a temporary Bell's palsy in a few people, and a reduction of a global pandemic by 95%. Like, that sounds pretty good, you know? And the people, I have family members in Florida, and it seems like they're all against it. And these are from the people that abuse alcohol, smoke cigarettes like it's going out of style, and do meth, which those side effects include hallucination, memory loss, paralysis, blood clots, compulsive behavior, birth defects, cancer, erectile dysfunction. But hey, don't let those vaccines pollute this temple, right? Now, if you don't mind, my chicken fingers and skitty are getting cold, and that cold ain't good for my diabetes. So, you know, and I thought about it. Even if the vaccine was used to control the masses, I don't think the people that are worried about it are the people they'd want to, you know, create as zombie foot soldiers. And I mean foot soldiers because most of them have already lost one. I don't know if you've been to Florida recently, but the first place I went to when I went to Florida was a Walmart, and I saw so many people with missing limbs. I thought it was a War Veterans Day. So I actually walked up to a guy who was in a scooter with no legs and an army jacket, and I said, "Sir, I'm from Canada, but I just want to thank you for your service. Was it Korea? Was it Vietnam?" And he looked at me. He went, "Dairy Queen." Or as he called it, Desert Storm. So I just, you know, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for your service. You're so sweet. Florida, I've never seen a state with the best beach weather with literally the worst beach bodies, you know? And I thought about it. If the vaccine did create an army of foot soldiers, they wouldn't be scary, you know? They'd be coming at you with their scooters, and those zombies would be the only ones starting with missing limbs, and they'd have no teeth to eat the flesh. It's fine. But I thought I'd do myself a service, and I thought I'd ask my uncle, you know, what he actually thought of it, who lives down in Tampa. And ironically, he's taking Avandia for his diabetes, which is the medication with the worst side effects on the market. It includes heart failure, bladder failure, and I said, you know, Uncle Murray, what do you think about all those side effects? And he just went, because he had actually just taken the COVID vaccine and his Bell's palsy was acting up. Because of COVID, though, they've had a lot of backups for surgery. I don't know if you guys know that. And I just had a son, and a lot of people, you'd be shocked how many people are asking me what I'm going to do with my son's penis. It's very awkward. And I find that very personal. I think when it comes to asking someone if their son is going to get a circumcision, you should treat it like asking them who they voted for. It's none of your business what dickhead I prefer, okay? I did ask around, though. It's quite divided. 50% of people think circumcision's wrong and genital mutilation. And the other 100% of women think it looks much better. So, it's just, what's my time? Okay, I got a minute. But I do think we have, up in Canada, we got a lockdown. We're not really allowed to go outside very much. And I think this is the best thing ever for married guys, because they can finally brag to their single friends about getting laid twice a year. And their friends are like, lucky, you know? And I think about it now that I don't go anywhere, I don't understand why I have a car. I'm paying for the payments. I got insurance. Like, the lockdown is made. Last week, I only moved my car once so the Uber Eats guy could get in, you know? So I'm not using it very much. And getting your car ready here in Canadian winter feels a lot like sex. By the time you scrape the front, brush the top, and warm her up, I don't really want to go any further, right? But I did notice that a lot of guys name their cars after women. For instance, my friend Ryan Schneider, he named his car Stacy because, much like his ex, he said he wanted to treat her with respect and love the rider. And I told him I named my car Hillary because I stole it from a guy named Bernie. Yeah. That's my set.
Woo. All right, thank you. Some really good stuff. That Florida stuff is really good. I would say the only thing is, yeah, I think that we could do that accent even thicker. Diabetes, whatever.
Diabetes. Yeah, okay.
I think you could do it.
Dairy Queen.
Yeah, that was Dessert Storm. That was pretty good. And I would say the only thing is like my driveway has now just become a parking lot. So that was my only tag
For Uber Eats.
car. Yeah, Chase, you got any response?
You're muted, buddy.
My bad. My dog keeps fucking barking. So, no, it was good. It was really solid.
I'll be right
The one
back.
thing-
Guys.
Okay.
Continue
The way
on with
that-
that.
The way you were talking about Florida treating everything COVID, I'm from Louisiana, and it is exactly fucking like that. It is, and I'm living in the middle of it, and it sucks ass. So it's very relatable. I understood everything you were saying, but when you were listing off all the different side effects from the medication stuff that they take, in my head, I was thinking you could end it off with like list off that big long list of like side effects, and then list off the last ones like being Republican. So, and then the thank you for your service. I don't know if that's what she just said, but the thank you for your service, you tagged it with Dairy Queen or punched it with Dairy Queen. I was thinking in my head, diabetes is what came up. Like, thank you for your service. What was it? Vietnam or whatever. And he's like, diabetes. And then you could still tag it with Dessert Storm, though. But that was all I had.
All right. Jackie, do you have
Let's see. Okay, so you could talk about like also when they don't want the side effects. You could talk about how the microchipping. They're like, oh yeah, I don't mind that part though. Oh, I thought you said like nacho chips or something like that.
I thought you meant those little ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
The dips.
Talking about Dessert Storm. I still have post-traumatic stress from disorder. I don't know. That's stupid. And then everybody wants to ask about like circumcision. Everybody has a tip.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got.
all right?
Can I just ask the two women real quick?
Yeah.
Did you get when I said and 100% of women think it looks much more attractive?
Yeah.
Because they get it, and sometimes the guys are like, I don't get it. I'm like, I'm trying to say that all women think it looks better. So that's okay.
Yeah, I think women will laugh at that.
Yeah, I'm actually finding when I did this workshop with all just guys that I did this joke once before, and they're like, we don't get it. I'm like, that's the point. Sorry,
Women
Stein,
are
go ahead.
classically better at math.
Oh, are you? I don't even want to ask because I'm not hosting, but stop rubbing it.
Yeah, my hands are up here. My hands are up here. At one point you said about chicken fingers and sketties, which is really cute, but they're chicken tendies then.
Chicken tendies.
Your cute chicken tenders. I like the for your diabetes. Also, in Florida, if the alligators also had diabetes and maybe a meth problem and they lost all their teeth, then they'd be much less lethal. They're just giving you really strong gummies.
Crocodile Gum D. I like that. I'm writing that down.
All right, that's all you get. You're already too funny, man. This guy, we're competitors,
Yeah.
This local scene, there's only so many steaks on the table. He's a swell fellow, though.
So you guys do know each other. It kind of seemed like you didn't for a second. It's just like this guy. All right.
It's Bert Kreischer.
Any other response for Ryan with the shirt?
Was there anything in the no chat? Okay.
Nope. We just had one more comment about Ryan not having a shirt. So.
Ooh, what is it? Is it that I should put one on?
Ryan no shirt is so cute. Pass it on, but he smells like mothballs and depression. So.
Oh, this person knows
you wanted
me.
to hear it.
Did my girlfriend find this workshop?
I thought they were gonna say you smell like an old cast.
I eventually took it off.
Well, good. Now we know, Ryan. Wear a shirt.
And stop rubbing mothballs on myself, no matter how depressed I am.
Facebook user, he does smell like an old cast. I am his girlfriend. All right.
All right, I'm going to agree and hope it stops there.
All right. Yeah.
This person has insider info.
I'm gonna go ahead and just play me out. Ryan with the shirt. He's gonna have a heart attack over there for his beaties. Diabetes. So we'll go ahead and just end this with my last little set. Yeah, so the inauguration happened finally. Everything was so crazy. But my favorite crazy thing that happened with this whole election was when Kanye West announced his candidacy for president. When I found that out, I got the same look I get when I just realized that I got my period. Yeah, it was just an uncomfortable surprise. Yeah, but like the inauguration happened, and Lady Gaga, she came out and sang this national anthem. But she came out looking like the Swiss Miss girl if you were tripping on acid. Like it was such a I don't know, like a regional dress that I thought, like, does she know that she's at the inauguration for the president of the United States of America? Because it seems like she was at the inauguration for the president of Norway or however it works over there. I don't know. There's some serious grades going on. But then J-Lo came out and she wore like this like white sort of Mozart influenced outfit, an outfit that the late great musician Prince would have been proud of. And J-Lo, she sang the song that they sing during the seventh inning stretch. You know, that patriotic song. Yep, "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" is what she sang during the inauguration. But it was good. Also, we got a new president, so that was a good thing. But Joe Biden, he's in the presidency now, and he's making some moves, getting back into the Paris Accords, and it's awesome. He's saving the planet, and I'm on the same page. Like they say that the eyes are the windows to the soul, and the corners of my eyes are the recycling bins for my mascara. So been going green this entire time. Yeah, very exciting. But there's a lot of changes that still need to be made. There's a lot of like weird stereotypes out there. But I think the weirdest is that people still think that blind people touch people's faces to like somehow physically feel how they look. And like that's just so not true. Like if I ever accidentally touch somebody's face, I'm so weirded out. And I'm just like, how long is an appropriate amount of time before I can wipe my hand off on my jeans? Like how long? And if that was true, how would that even work? Like, is your acne just all of a sudden turn into Braille, where people can just read the pus-filled bumps on your face, and the bumps say that you look like how Seth Rogen's laugh sounds? Terrible. Yeah, but I think that's all I have. So a couple of things to work on. So thank you guys, appreciate it. If you guys got any response, Chase, you got any response?
The only thing, the last bit, the acne bro. I think you could do a lot with that. I was trying to think of other examples, but the Seth Rogen's laugh thing is probably the perfect example you could say for that. So, but that I think you can expand on that. That's a really funny concept to think about. So,
Thank you. Yeah, Jackie.
Yes, with the wiping off of hand, you said like how long do I have to wait until I can wipe my hand? You can say like, luckily COVID sped that up, like squirt some hand standing on real quick. Also, I love the acne braille. I think that's like a great premise. You could do like an act out where you're like, I am not hot. Okay, I'll see you around sometime. You're like that. The acne is like saying like their features.
Going away from me instead of
Yeah.
Yeah, good. All right, Ryan, no shirt. Got any response?
Yeah, I couldn't remember the context quite, but when I think it was she was singing the anthem during the 7th inning stretch, you could say something like, and I kept interrupting my yoga poses. Stretching. Okay. And then when the blind person touches your face to see if to see what you look like, you say something like, I don't know about you, but I have an especially greasy face. So you hope that they're not like leaning into it, or they might slip off.
That's funny.
It's hard to get a good grip on this face. Lord knows people have tried.
All right, Ryan with the shirt. Got any response?
I wrote, blind people still touch people's faces to see how they like. Mr. Trump, you're not blind, and that's not what we meant by front cheeks. Or people think blind people still touch faces to see how they look. Yeah, just the creepy ones.
Yeah.
That's good.
Being blind isn't mutually exclusive from being a creep.
All right. I like that. Some really great responses. Thank you so much. Yeah, anything else you guys want to add?
I had fun.
All right, very good. Got to make fun of Ryan no shirt not wearing the shirt.
But he deserved it. He had an hour and 23 minutes to change, and he did.
Well, I had an hour and 23 minutes to change and write my material, and frankly, I picked the more important one.
Sorry. I should have brought it up again.
I did some background research, actually, and after texting my girlfriend asking if she really thinks I smell like mothballs, I then saw that it was not her that said that. So now I look like the idiot, as opposed to before.
What are you, blind?
Walk, walk.
All right. Well, does anybody have any plugs they want to do? Any social media that they want us to follow?
Follow me.
All right, Jackie. Where should we follow you? Where should we look for you?
I am very active on Instagram, TikTok. Sometimes I get a little YouTube in there. My Twitter's kind of fun. Yeah.
So what is it?
Oh, it's all Jackie Church comedy.
Okay. Well, all that information will also be on the workshop Facebook page when this replays. So, yep, for sure, we'll get that information to everybody. Chase, where can we find you? Do you got anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I haven't done any live shows in a while, but you can find me on Facebook. There's 2 Chase Bonhams in Louisiana. One of them sucks, and then the other one is this other guy from somewhere else. No, you can find me on Facebook, and I'm trying to make Twitter work. I'm still figuring it out, but at CAB Funny on Twitter. I talk a lot of shit on there. And I do, once everything opens back up, if anybody tours or comes through Louisiana at all in my area, I book a ton of shows. Or I say a ton. For this area, it's a few shows. So if anybody comes through, just hit me up. You can find me, like I said, on Facebook. Find me, DM me, whatever. Ask for a show. I have a few places that I book at. Or I could book you a cool house show in my garage and let you sleep in our spare bedroom.
Hard to beat that.
That's pretty rad. Those are really fun shows, actually.
Very cool. A booker on the show. That's good. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, without a shirt, where can we find you?
I find Twitter stupid. And not just stupid, but it's bad for society. But you can find me at Maximum Butter on Instagram. As in, how would you like your toast? With the maximum butter allowed. Anyone in the Hamilton area, the greater Hamilton area, or willing to drive to Hamilton, Ontario, you could follow my page, Mountain Comedy Night, on Facebook. There I will, when society resumes, continue running my monthly show where I book comics also
All right.
to perform.
All right. Well, we'll definitely check that out. We'll put that in the chat, and we'll make sure that everyone can see that. Ryan with a shirt. Ryan Sim.
You can follow me on all social media at Ryan with a shirt comedy. Actually, I just got Twitter literally this month. It's Ryan Sim Comedy, and the jokes are about as good as you think they are. So, follow if you want.
He's funnier in person.
On YouTube, I think I'm Ryan Sim Comedy, and on Instagram, I'm Cedar_Sim. But what I do want to plug is here in the workshop, if you guys follow it, on February 2nd, I'm in the finals for some contest that Scott's running that he gives you a topic, and then an hour later, you have to have 3 to 5 minutes on it.
A turbo comedy?
Isn't that the same as this?
It's the same as this, except everyone has to do it in an hour rather than procrastinate like us, Ryan. So
yeah, turbo comedy is super fun, and that's
yeah.
Yeah.
February 2nd, 8 p.m. You can see me try and win like $50 American. So cool.
That's cool.
Capitalize on that exchange rate.
Yeah, that'll buy you a house in Canada. So I'm excited. So.
All right, and I'm Alisha Rayne. You can follow me at Alisha Rayne on Facebook and Instagram. You can follow me at Alisha Rayne 2 on Twitter. I will be headlining at the Wish You Were Here Zoom Comedy Showcase tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central. So you can just follow me and see where you can watch that show online. Thank you so much, everybody. I had a great time. We had some great comedy. See you next